in certain cases where you have a monster, somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer or Charles Manson or John Wayne Gacy, you can throw Pam Hupp right into that conversation because she's just as bad and just as evil as any one of those individuals.
You okay?
Joel, still visibly emotional after a decade-long battle for his client, Russ was accused of murdering his wife Betsy back in 2011, but always insisted he was innocent.
Really, I was kind of in shock at the time, so I mean, I was going through the motions. Obviously, when something like that happens, the first person that they look at is the spouse.
Betsy had been stabbed 55 times, and authorities were immediately suspicious of Russ because when he called 911, he said it was suicide.
I'm not a forensics expert, and you don't want to spend too much time looking at that type of scene, so I initially thought that she had committed suicide. I saw slashes in her arms and a knife in her neck, and obviously I was mistaken.
Russ, this is not suicide. This isn't a random killing. This is a crime of passion.
I did not do this. I'm telling you, I did not do this.
They also said Betsy's best friend, Pam Hupp, said there were issues in their marriage.
But you guys run a little bit of a rocky relationship. This is coming from her friends that she's confided in, and they are concerned about you, Russ.
Joel met with Russ and immediately took on his case, thinking they could easily prove his innocence due to the fact he had 4 witnesses putting him somewhere else that night.
It was clear that it was absolutely provable that he was innocent, not just not guilty. Big, big difference.
His trial began in 2013, and the prosecution's star witness, Pam Hupp, who told the jury about alleged troubles in Russ and Betsy's marriage.
To see somebody get up there and just tell out lies, it's painful to watch.
I was precluded from going in front of the jury into Pam Hupp's lies, and most importantly, from going into the fact that Betsy had signed the insurance proceeds over to Pam 4 days before she was killed, and that Pam was the last one with her and was never investigated.
And then came the devastating verdict, guilty.
It basically takes all the wind out of your sails. What am I going to do now?
I said, Russ, I'm gonna keep trying, and I'm gonna get you out of this.
So they fought and got a new trial, and this time the judge acquitted Russ of Betsy's murder.
That was, again, one of the greatest moments I can imagine.
Obviously, it's still emotional for me. I was happy. Happy for us. Unfortunately, this is not even remotely close to the end of this story.
Pam Hupp had other plans.
Help! Help! Ma'am, can you hear me? Help! What's the address you're at?
A chilling 911 call, but how does it connect to Pam Hupp and Russ Faria? Well, Russ thought once he was acquitted of his wife Betsy's murder, his life might go back to normal, but Hupp wasn't done. Only months after his exoneration, police believe she attempted to frame him again. It all went down when she called 911 claiming a man, Louis Gumpenberger, broke into her house, and then she shot and killed him.
Once that door opened and he was there, I just started shooting and walking towards him.
But here's the thing, there was a note in Gumpenberger's pocket that said, "Get Russ's money," so police had to call him in again.
And she put a note with my name in that gentleman's pocket, and they wanted to investigate that. They wanted to ask me where I had been. They wanted to take handwriting samples. I even gave them my phone.
But then investigators remembered an odd call they received from a woman named Carol who claimed that a blonde woman pretending to be a Dateline producer showed up at her home and asked to reenact a 911 call for the show.
Street smart as Carol is, she had Pam pull into a spot being videotaped, got in Pam Hupp's car and started to take off with Pam. However, thankfully, Carol thought better of it and said, no, I'm not doing this, and got out of the car.
After Pam's plans were thwarted, investigators say that's when she found Gumpenberger and used the same Dateline story, luring him out of his home and killing him. So they charged Pam with his murder, and in the end, she was convicted.
Pam Hupp is in prison for life without parole, meaning she will never be eligible to be released.
What about Betsy? The new DA continued to investigate her murder, and with all of the new information about Pam, they charged her with Betsy's murder.
It's important for Pam Hupp to be charged with and convicted of Betsy Faria's murder, so there can be justice for Russ Faria, Leah and Mariah Day, Betsy's daughters, and hopefully justice for Betsy.
I want her to know how evil she is, how much she impacted so many lives.
And twist of fate, Russ and Carol, the woman who got in the car with Pam, they got together and are now engaged.
Russ has become a bit of a pawn in Pam Hupp's chess game. But every once in a while in a chess game, a pawn is the one that checkmates the queen. And in this case, I think Russ was able to pull that off with my help.
Pam Hupp, by the way, has pleaded not guilty to the murder of Betsy Faria. Her trial starts later this year, and Joel's book, Bone Deep, is available right now.